Good afternoon, friends. Stephen Benoon here with Israeli News Live, and the situation that we've been discussing with you here for the last few weeks about Damascus falling and just how crucial this is on a biblical scale is taken a very scary turn, not only in the case of what Israel is doing, but even biblically. Even in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the evidence that I have uncovered is shocking to the very core. The fall of Damascus and the things that I've already shared with you, I have discovered in the Dead Sea Scrolls, as well as a clear identity that Jesus Christ and his own apostles are identified there as well, and the very fact of what happened to, or what would happen to Damascus in the coming future. Now, part of this will actually be gone deeper into tonight on our Patreon channel, patreon.com/Israeli News Live, because on the news broadcast, I can't go into all that detail. There is a tremendous amount of detail, and I'm going to dive deep into the Dead Sea Scrolls tonight there, but I will highlight some of that for you here in this news broadcast here. So let's get right into this. Israel has entered into Syria, fulfilling prophecy of Isaiah 17. And Christians already in Syria are fearful of what lays ahead from the fall of Damascus and President Bashar al-Assad, now in exile in Moscow inside of Russia, he and his family. And of course, they wish him all the best. And already there are countermeasures being raised up to try to defend the state of Israel, the apologetics, by having certain Christian factions, including even the Vatican, to make it look like, it's good that they got rid of Bashar al-Assad. Well, let's see what they actually do say. Watch what we read here. Syrian Christians brace for persecution as Damascus falls to rebels. This was just 2 days ago. Today is December the 11th, 2024. By the way, this was on December the 9th, 2024. Syrian Christians are sure to face escalating hardships and persecution as the capital city of Damascus was taken by the Islamist rebels yesterday. Hundreds of thousands of Syrian Christians have been displaced during the long civil war, and those who remain at their homes are often persecuted, harassed, and killed. In Aleppo, historically a Christian stronghold, only a handful of Christians remain. Now we go to the yellow part here. In areas controlled by the Islamic extremist groups, public expression of Christianity are forbidden, while kidnapping of young Christians continue and Islamist dissidents remain active. Down here, the next one. Met Ephraim was enthroned as the ruling hierarchy of Aleppo in December of 2021. His predecessor, His Eminence Metropolitan Berlos Paul, was captured by Islamist rebels in April of 2013, never heard from again. So these heads of the churches are going to be taken out, no doubt, right? Until they establish their own form of what they would like there. One source close to the Met Ephraim tells Orthodoxy News Agency that things are tragic for Aleppo and especially for the Orthodox Christians who are still there and refuse to leave the area, their homes, and their churches. Every hour that passes, he says, we don't know what will happen, who will survive this ordeal. Everyone left Aleppo, both Syrians and Armenians. Can't blame them because the Armenians know the Jews they'll massacre them. Only our Metropolitan Ephraim of Aleppo and Alexandria remained, along with 2 or 3 priests who are with him in the metropolis. It's interesting that they call him by the name of Ephraim. No wonder. We'll look at that in a moment. Please pray for them because we don't know if we'll see them again. We all remember that 11 years ago, Metropolitan Paul of Aleppo, his predecessor, the blood brother of the current patriarch of Antioch of John, was kidnapped by Islamists and has been missing since. We fear the same could happen to the current Metropolitan. Now, what are we talking about? This here, my good friend Renze, and forgive me, brother, if I know I'm bad about pronouncing his name incorrectly, send me these photos here. The Greater Israeli Project on Israeli soldiers. Notice Israel, a little tiny strip down there, and of course taking half of the Sinai and biggest part of Syria. And by the way, for the King Abdullah, your northern part of Jordan, they're looking at taking as well. Nothing new, right? Isaiah 17. We know Damascus is taken away from being a city and shall be ruinous heap. The cities of Aurora are forsaken. They shall be for flocks which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. What are we talking about when we say the cities of Aurora are forsaken? Aurora, by the way, is like the southern cities south of Damascus, to the west of Damascus, down near the border of Israel there in the Golan Heights, which is actually Syrian territory. Even biblically, that's Syrian territory. All right? All those areas there, they're forsaken. Well, if you remember, that's exactly how Israel moved into that territory, was because the posts were forsaken. The Syrian military abandoned their posts and left. Yeah, so what does Israel do? They took advantage of that. The fortress also shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus. The fortress, the stronghold, shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus. That kingdom is the body of Christ that is living in Damascus. And the remnant of Aram, or Syria, shall be as the glory of the children of Israel. Now, let me take you to the King James Version of this so we get a little bit better look at this here. Verse 9 specifically. In that day shall his strong cities be as a forsaken bow, and the uppermost branch which they left because of the children of Israel, and there shall be desolation. Yeah, because of the children of Israel, not the house of Israel, because of the children of Israel, and there shall be a desolation. These are those that are I would have to say of a Nephilim sort, like Jesus said about the Pharisees, you serpents, you generation of vipers, how can you escape the damnation of hell? I want you to see though verse 7 and verse 8, and I want to just to put that in your mind. At that day shall a man look to his Maker, and his eyes shall have respect to the Holy One of Israel. And he shall not look to the altars, the works of his hands, neither shall he respect that which his fingers have made, either the groves or the images. Who's the Holy One of Israel? Well, I said to you I would give you a glimpse into this, and then we're really going to go do this deeper, because in my news broadcast I try not to go as long on these, about what it says in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Here it is, 4Q 266 through 268, we read here, and at the period of wrath, 390 years after having delivered them up into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, he visited them and caused to sprout from Israel and from Aaron a shoot of the planting, in order to possess his land, to become fat with the good things of his soil. And they realized their iniquity and knew that they were guilty men, but they were like blind persons, like those who grope for a path over 20 years. And God praised their deeds because they sought him with an undivided heart, and raised up for them a teacher of righteousness in order to direct them in the path of his heart. That is Jesus Christ. And made known to the last generations that he had done for the last generation, the congregation of traitors. These are the ones who stray. Congregation of traitors. That's your Pharisees. Okay? Who strayed from the path. This is the time about which it was written in Hosea, like a stray heifer, so has Israel strayed. The scoffer arose who poured out over Israel waters of lies and made them stray into a wilderness without path, causing the everlasting heights to sink down, diverging from tracks of justice and removing the boundary with which the forefathers had marked their inheritance, so that the curses of his covenant would adhere to them, to deliver them up to the sword, carrying out the vengeance of the covenant, for they sought easy interpretations, chose illusions, scrutinized loopholes, chose the handsome neck. By the way, notice, they removing the boundaries. Just waltz right on into Syria. Okay? Which the forefathers had marked their inheritance, so that the curses of his covenant, that's what comes upon them. They choose the handsome neck, acquitted the guilty, and sentenced the just. You wanted Barabbas instead of Jesus. Violated the covenant, broke the precept, banded together against the life of a just man. Their soul abominated all those who walk in perfection. They hunted them down with the sword and provoked the dispute of the people, and kindled was the wrath of God against their congregation, laying waste all its great number, for their deeds were unclean in front of him. Yeah, you hunted down the apostles and killed them, and so God took and you angered him until he brought the whole place down with the Roman hand. Wait till I go into this with you tonight on Patreon. There's a page that I found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, undeniably will show you that the demise of Damascus is at the hand of the modern state of Israel, and that it was the stronghold for Christianity, and God is not pleased with what would happen in this day here. No wonder why you deliberated Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon happens to be the nativity of the Nephilim and of the seed of the vipers. That's why you wanted to take control of that mountain. You certainly don't want to share that, do you? What can I say? What can I say here? It's terrible, right? Well, this basically is an article, different article, but the same, bringing this very fact. Shortly after the fall of Aleppo, the Church of Albania issued a statement warning that situation placed thousands of Orthodox Christians at immediate risk. Metropolitan Ephraim Antioch, which that's what we heard about him already. But this is a different church who was corresponding with Mr. Ephraim about the fall of President Assad. They're very concerned about what's happening there. And by the way, this thread right here, shared with me, I think by Charles that sent this to me, from Patrick Henningsen. Might as well follow this guy. Very brilliant man for what he just said. I can't do it like that as of yet, and now it's going to jump up with all the junk. Let me go back to him real quick. Uncanny. His objectives are literally identical to Israel's objectives. Al-Jalani. Syria will not enter into a new war with Israel. The country is not ready for another war. Our biggest threat was Hezbollah and the Iranian-backed Shia militias. And that's exactly what Mr. Jalani has to say here. See? And it's not going to get another one. The source of fears from the Iranian militias, Hezbollah, and the regime. All right, you want to know who Al-Jalani is? Al-Jalani, as a kid, was kidnapped by Mossad. Israel doesn't want you to know about that, does he? Let me just show you right here. This guy here on memory television here, he really reveals what happened. Its mere existence on the land, even without actually attacking, constitutes an attack. Listen to what he says. The Israeli enemy continues its attack. Let me get a little volume on here if I can find it here for you. Here we go. It's not playing the volume for some reason. Um, Well, it doesn't matter. We got the subtitles. Israeli army continues its attack. And let me make sure it's big enough for you guys to see, because it's historical ideology. They were the killers of the prophets. He knows that you're the killer, Israel. He knows you're the killer of your own prophets, like Isaiah, who you cut in half. Right? John the Baptist, you cut his head off. Yeah, he knows that. Killers of the prophets and so on. Watch what else he says here. Is one of an aggressor. This is their habit. They will kill. They will keep on attacking. Al-Jalani was manufactured by Israel, he says. Perhaps he is one of the children who were abducted at a young age. Okay, so he's suggesting this. All right. And raised by the Israeli Mossad. And now they send him to Syria equipped with a fake background. They said that he was arrested by the Americans, when in fact he was training with them in Iraq. And all of a sudden he showed up to take over the entire scene. Whoa, what do you know? And all of a sudden, right, this is amazing. And now they presented him in a clean Western form. Yes, pro-Israel no less. All right, there you go. The Israeli enemy is trying to prove the Western world. Oh, that's the beginning here. Let me just play this one part here too. That the biblical prophecies are coming true. He's right. This guy's spot on right. That's what I've been telling you. They're trying to make you think that the prophecies are coming true. Well, they are coming true, but not the way they would like you to think they're coming true. And that's what's so sad. So sad. And, of course, what is Israel doing? Israel launches 400 strikes, destroys Syrian military assets. The IDF targeted airfields, naval bases, weapon sites in Damascus, homes, Tartarus, Palmyra, destroying missile jets, tanks, and more there. 400 targets Israel has gone after inside of Syria since the fall of President Bashar al-Assad. They're making sure that nobody that would stand up and fight for Syria can get a hold of anything. They're making sure that nothing can be gotten a hold of. This here is on U.S. News here. What was it here? Yeah, okay. As Israel advances on Syria buffer zone, it sees peril and opportunity. Boy, isn't that the truth, right? Israeli soldiers stand next to armored vehicles parked near the so-called Alpha line that separates the Israeli annexed Golan Heights from Syria in the town of Mayad al-Shams. Now, by the way, remember, I showed you on the map yesterday, or a couple of days ago, where that line goes to, though. They're just on the beginning of the line on the Israeli side, right? The Israeli military over the weekend began seizing control of the demilitarized buffer zone in Syria, creating as part of the 1974 ceasefire between countries. It said the move was temporary and meant to secure its border. But the incursion sparked condemnation, with critics accusing Israel of violating the ceasefire and possibly exploiting chaos in Syria for land grab. Israel still controls the Golan Heights, and it captured from Syria during the 1967 Middle East War and later annexed a move not recognized by most of the international community. By the way, I bet you anything you want to bet, before it's over with, Israel is going to tell you that when they finally do annex this other portion of Syria, oh, this belongs to the Druze. Remember, we got the Druze in the Golan and part of the northern part of the West Bank there. And we're going to secure that for their sake, because really that land belongs to the Druze, and the Druze are all Israelis. Wait for that nonsense to come out of their mouth. Prime Minister Netanyahu said Sunday that the Israeli forces were moving to control a roughly 400 square kilometer, 155 square miles demilitarized buffer zone of the Syrian territory. The buffer zone between Syria and Israel controlled Golan Heights. Now, I haven't done this yet, but let's just look at this. Let's try it out. 1967 Golan Heights. How many square miles? is it? Let's just see if we can find that out, right? Okay. The Golan extends about 44 miles. 2 days ago, the Golan, okay. But how many square miles would that be? Let's see if we can get a, I don't want the junk mail to come up. That's what I call those things that pop up. Okay, let's see. And 44 miles, okay. It's 1,150 square kilometers. And, all right, so let's come back to what we just read here. And, all this other stuff that I had open that we don't need right now. So let's come back over here. And, oh goodness, where was I at? Here we go. All right, my apology then is 400 square kilometers is what they're saying that is. And the other one, okay, so it would be, so what I showed you would probably be inaccurate even though I was using that line there. It is roughly 1/3 the size of what we see that Israel is taking a part of there. So let me go to Google Maps then, and let's kind of put this more into perspective because I need to correct that then. We'll just put the Golan in there for Google Maps. That way it'll help pop us up inside of Israel when we go into there. If we quit getting the junk, it keeps popping up. Let's see, Google Maps. All right, here we go. Unfortunately, you have to call it Israel nowadays. All right, so the Golan, as you can see, is this area right there. Okay, I see what they're saying now. This is that line there. I knew that the Alpha area, though, goes all the way over here to the right. Now, I know that from what we're hearing about already, that Israel has even gone beyond that point there. But they're claiming they've taken over that whole region in there, too. In fact, that Arnaba Bay region there, I have watched the battles rage in there between the different fighting factions a while back. Anyway, listen, we're gonna close this out here in just a second. Let me come back to this real quick though. Israel can completely destroy enemy army without war through Syria control. See, they're already talking about Syria and control. They want to control Syria. So Israel is definitely working on that. It has fallen. Damascus has fallen. It is no doubt about it. It is now and will be controlled by Israel in the future. You'll see that. And we're going to see exactly what Renze sent to me there. We're going to see that greater Israeli project there. Let me see. There we go. Blow it up a little bit bigger there. That's the country of Israel. That little tiny swab right there. That is the Sinai Peninsula. And of course, this is a huge portion, not counting Lebanon, but a huge portion of, well, no, it's actually got a lot of Lebanon in there too. And a lot of Syria, all the way to the Euphrates River. This is what they claim they're going to take. Some people believe that Israel has a biblical right to that. Israel has, in time past, under King Solomon, already controlled all the way to the Euphrates River before. So it's not like Israel hasn't already had it in the past. Israel, though, and you will find out tonight what God thinks about what's going on right now, and it is a disgrace in the sight of God's eyes what has happened to Damascus. Although he knew it was going to happen, it's written in the Dead Sea Scrolls. They elaborate on this prophecy. We clearly can see Jesus in these prophecies here, and you're going to see Jesus even unquestionably written in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Tonight on Patreon, if you come in a little bit later and I haven't posted it yet, watch for it in the morning. Go there, subscribe. We'll be updating that also too for the early release people that have signed up for that. I apologize I haven't got that done yet, but I will try to get that done tonight as well. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. We do need your support. Can't do this without you. So please, above my head there, IsraeliNewsLive.org. Go to our website. I'm probably going to be writing an article myself on this issue about the fall of Damascus. It's that important to me. And I need to take one of our videos here and post it here as on our website there, the update of what's happening in the world. God bless you and have a great day. Don't forget to LifeWave had some amazing new testimonies recently about this product. And I am really starting to find from some independent research and study that why this patches actually work. And then recently we discovered that the Eon patch is critical for stem cells to activate even better because it reduces the inflammation in the body, cuts your cortisol levels. I lost nearly 30 pounds of weight. Jason Miller, a good friend of mine, he lost almost 30 pounds of weight as well. So we're those that have stuck this out are finding the most amazing testimonies you could ever find. So anyway, God bless you. Thank you for listening and have a blessed day.